don't fall asleep. In fact, most women are not sleepy during the day. They're more anxious, and that's how a lot of my female patients present. They're more anxiety, a little bit just out of sorts. For men, they're like, I can fall asleep at the next stoplight or during a commercial. And the other thing is most people don't want to wear a sleep apnea machine at night. But there's a dental appliance you can use that many people are very successful use, wear like a retainer at night, and allows your airway to stay open. So there's so many ways to solve the problem. It's not just a machine. And, of course, some weight loss would be always good, and there's some really great ways to do that as well.
So we talked about the symptoms. You mentioned it's controllable, but the number is so alarming, with it being 38,000 people a year, just in North America. I mean, where's the campaigns? Where's, I'm looking for what we hear about with women with breast cancer. Where's the noise? Where's that positive noise to let people know?
And that's what we're trying to start. I mean, I can tell you a personal story. I'm a walking miracle. I should have been dead when I was 35 because of my sleep apnea. I was relatively thin, 6'1", 185 pounds, but my oxygen levels were dropping so much that I always said, okay, well, I'm a healthcare provider, so I'm wearing kind of dress clothes, a nice pair of slacks. But I said, yeah, my hair and my legs are kind of going away. Oh, it must be my socks. No, I just wasn't watering the garden. I just wasn't getting oxygen to my lower legs at night. Some patients, they'll say, my tummy hurts, or I'm anxious, or I get headaches. Yeah, because, of course, you're auto-strangulating. And for kids, they're underperforming in school. They'll say, oh, Johnny has ADD, or Jill has some other spectrum of learning disorder. If they have tonsil issues, adenoid issues, or they're just really quiet sleepers or really deep sleepers, sometimes they have apnea. I diagnose little 5- and 6-year-olds that, unto their structure and the way their little systems were created, they're not breathing, and you get them breathing better, and all of a sudden they go from a C student to an A student, or from sitting in the corner being in trouble to being stellar and being so attentive, because we know as adults, tired us or hungry us or tired kids, hungry kids, not the best in our attention or our drive.
Correct. So weight is would you say weight is basically the, 90% cause of sleep apnea?
Yeah, I would say probably about 30 to 50% of it is weight. Once again, I have some really, really thin people. In fact, I had a pastor come to my practice. He was 5'7", and he would always fall asleep during my talks with him and his wife about health and wellness. And she said, "Oh, don't take it personally. He falls asleep when we have guest pastors too." And I'm going like, why is this guy tired? He 150-some pounds, 5'7", otherwise healthy, fit guy. And so I would say that, weight's definitely part of it. And I actually use a product in my practice called Calories, which actually helps bind up fat from the diet. So as I tell them to eat well, do all this, but I have a saying, food happens. And so when you're out and about, you can take some Calories, which binds up the fat and allows you to win the battle. Of course, exercise, eat well, but there's just simple things that I can tell you when you're tired and you're a little overweight, the last thing that's usually on most people's minds is exercise and management. It's like, I'm miserable. Okay, I got to eat. Okay, sleep, show up the next day to work.
Right. So let's just say we have some really productive folks that, they are potentially having some health issues and they're looking to lose weight. What are some suggestions for those folks?
Well, I tell everybody, Mom was right. We need to eat our vegetables more. And so I have the 3-2-1+1 diet. So what does that mean? And it's actually a book I wrote called Great Health. It's 3 veggies. Throughout the day, you should have a minimum of 3 solid vegetables. Then you should have 2 fresh fruits, 1 grain serving, so that'd be like a rice or bread or something like that, and then a large protein serving. So that's the 3 veggies, 2 fruits, 1 grain, and most of us are doing a whole heck of a lot more grain, and then a large portion of protein. And so by the end of the day, if you were to add up all your little stacks of food, it should be a 3-2-1+1 ratio. And then you're eating a little closer to what all of our ancestors did, is the catch as catch can, or the typical diet that you would get if you're a wanderer looking for food. You've got lucky, you might get some serious protein, that'd be the large protein. But if you had to actually till the soil, plant the wheat, water the wheat, take care of the wheat, keep the pests away from the wheat, you wouldn't be making a whole lot of bread, because after you harvested that wheat, you still had to grind it, mill it, knead it. It's like, okay. So we eat way too many carbs, and we also eat way too many saturated fats. And so the calories actually binds up the saturated fat, and then lots of my patients will use a white kidney bean extract for their carbohydrate issues. So they use calories, and then they use a white kidney bean extract, and those two in combination, along with some good choices, beautiful, beautiful results.
Dr. Chris, as always, it's so good to have you come on to our show and help us out and continue to get the word across. I guess, what's the best way, if I'm a listener to this podcast and I want to get in contact with you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Well, you can actually either just go to my website. I have 200 national articles I've written, including one on sleep apnea. Just Dr., so for Dr. Meletis, MELETIS.com, so drmeletis.com, and if you come anywhere close, I pop up as one of the top finds. And or you can go to the website Calories, so just like CALOREASE. I do a little blip it on weight loss, and I do some blogging there and some educational material. So it's all about sharing the knowledge and the wisdom, and as always, I am just blessed to be part of your show, and thanks for having me.
Dr. Chris Meletis, I like I said, thank you so much, and don't think this is the last time you're going to be on the show.
Hey, well, thank you, and hey, blessings, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful and awesome evening.
You too. Thanks so much, Dr. Chris.
Thank you.
So that was Dr. Chris. He came through and told us about sleep apnea, some of the things, some of the factors in dealing with it. As always, it's great to always have an expert. We're going to be wrapping up the show in the next few minutes. As I mentioned, it's primarily a 30-minute version tonight of Late Night Parents. We will be back next week in New Orleans with an hour episode. So stay tuned for that. Just some news and notes. Want to talk about YouTube has confirmed a subscription service, an ad-free service that's coming soon. So, according to some updated T's and C's, which will go into effect June 15, 2015, YouTube will pay creators 55% of total net revenues from subscription fees. This is the same percentage associated with advertising revenues. There's no word on pricing yet or a public release date. I mean, you got to think about it. YouTube, which is owned by Google, they clearly see Facebook video is on the rise. When you go to Facebook nowadays, whether as a parent, as just a random user, what do you see? When you scroll through your timeline, all you see is videos. And some of the videos are, funny. Some of the videos are entertaining. Some of the videos are disturbing. But that's the world we live in. So I'm thinking with YouTube, because right now when you click on a link from YouTube, you're usually pushed into a 30-second or 1-minute infomercial. Or, someone basically, pushing their advertising. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll talk about what some of the mobile providers are doing. We'll talk about super cookies. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, things that you need to be aware of. But there's going to be an ad-free version of YouTube. So look for them to try to defend their turf against Facebook. And they are looking also for, to monetize opportunities like this. I'm not sure for our Apple users if you received the update iOS 8.3, it's an update for the iPhone, iPad, and including new emojis. So Apple's iOS 8.3, the beta, which was previewed last month, it's been released into the wild. The mobile operating system update, it targets, as I mentioned, iPhones and iPads and delivers a new set of diverse emojis in addition to other fun surprises. So there's about 400 additional emojis, but there were some security fixes also. Topic that came across my desk, the Uber's breathalyzer kiosk gets you a ride home if you're drunk. You know, so Uber sees this ride-sharing service as an ideal way to get you home safely when you're drunk. If you're trying out some relatively unique technology, basically the company Uber has set up a safe kiosk in Toronto, and basically they gave sloshed Canadians a free ride home if they blew into the breathalyzer. It's much safer than stumbling on foot or struggling to hail a cab because, you know, God knows we don't want you driving, you know, while you're intoxicated. Facebook itself has launched a dedicated web interface for its Messenger. So, I mean, any way you want to look at it. Have you ever tried to read a Facebook message on the web and get distracted by your news feed and their notifications? Well, now Facebook has a way to let you know use their Messenger in peace from your web browser. And today's launch from Messenger.com as a dedicated chat interface. It's rolling out worldwide for our English users with supports for other languages to come shortly. So, as usual, it's all really more nowadays about mobile, how to deliver your content or how to deliver these tools using, you know, basically on your mobile operating system. Other than that, those are just some news and notes that we have from tonight. As mentioned, I'm in Atlanta. I will be in New Orleans next week for a tech conference. We will be doing an hour version of Late Night Parents. Really excited. Tonight, Southern Lights was brought to you by our friends at World Wrestling Entertainment. Got to thank the good folks there. Been talking on and off with them somewhat, and I will be attending Monday Night Raw on Memorial Day on Long Island in Uniondale. So I want to thank those folks there. Also, some of our other sponsors that have worked with us with Late Night Parents, Schick, using your blades as I'm on this trip to give myself that smooth razor cut look, not only on my face, also on my bald head. Our good friends at Power Hands. Can't forget our friends also at Nautilus, one of the parent companies of the Bowflex. So with that, as I said, we've had a short episode. We want to thank Chris Meletis for joining to talk about sleep apnea. What else? We went through a real brief news and notes. This is another segment that I'm going to run next week. Well, there's a couple of other segments we're going to run next week. We're going to have a couple of, it should be an exciting show. It really should. So with that, as always, we want to say thank you, and we wish you the very best. We're going out with Let's Dance, the instrumental.